The Chattanooga Mocs poised and confident. The Furman Paladins mantra, win and advance. Second round FCS action right now on ESPN. Welcome to the NCAA FCS Football Championship. Today, the Chattanooga Mocs tangle with the Furman Paladins. We're inside Paladin Stadium in Greenview, South Carolina. This is an FCS second round matchup. Let's take a look at the bracket. The winner in this one today, be it the 7th seed Furman or the Chattanooga Mocs, UC, they're going to go tangle with the potentially the 2 seed Montana or Delaware in the quarterfinals. Great to see you, everybody. Delighted you're here. Michael Regai alongside my partner, Forrest Conley. Look, these two football teams are very familiar with one another. 4 weeks ago today they played. Hard-hitting, tough, defensive-minded football game, Forrest. And in it, Furman came out with a 17-14 win. We expect to see more of the same today.
Absolutely. Both of these teams are very familiar with one another. And what was interesting is the coaching staffs tried to downplay this game, the rematch, the revenge factor. And I think that will really play heavy in this ball game because you've got a Chattanooga team that feels like they should have won that first matchup. And you've got a Furman team that feels like they won it because they should have won the matchup. So it'll be an interesting game this afternoon.
We sense the confidence with both these football teams. Quarterback matchup. You know, quarterback's got to play well to advance, and this football game features Tyler Schomburg, the outstanding young QB from Chattanooga, and then, of course, Tyler Huff, the veteran for Furman.
Well, Schomburg, don't let the baby face fool you. This young man is a football player. Got his first start a couple of weeks ago at the University of Alabama and was unfazed. Played extremely well last week against Austin Peay, and the coaching staff talked about him only having one bad throw. On the other side, you've got the steady vet in Tyler Huff, the conference player of the year, the second leading rusher for this Furman ball club. And what he does is makes this offense multiple because of his ability to scramble outside of the pocket and make plays with his feet.
Stage is set. How about the coaches in this one today? The Furman head football coach, of course, Clay Hendricks. This is a Furman man through and through. We'll tell you more about that as we get through the course of the afternoon. And Rusty Wright for the Chattanooga Mocs, also a man who's very, very locked in with his program now in his 5th season as the head football coach. All right, we're set to go as Furman won the toss, deferred. They're going to get the football as we begin this afternoon. And that opening kickoff is picked up. Big gain as running that opening kickoff for Furman. Out near the midfield stripe is Wayne Anderson Jr. Anderson got a couple of nice blocks and that big return to set up field position for Furman right away.
And for kickoff return, it's just making the first man miss. And when you've got a speedster like Anderson with the football and he gets a lane, he can get down the field, as you see.
All right, let's take a look at Tyler Huff. This quarterback is, of course, my partner just told you, the SoCon Offensive Player of the Year, has had a brilliant career here in Greenville. They're going to go with that RPO game, and that's the first carry for Dominic Roberto. Roberto's big 230-pounder as he pounds inside for Furman.
Roberto is one of those players that runs behind his pass, 1,000-yard rusher last season. Been dealing with some injuries this year. But the thing about this Furman offense, there's a lot of pre-snap movement. So for the defense, you've got to not get caught up with the eye candy.
All right, Roberto got 4. Let's call it 2nd down and 6 now for Tyler Huff. Stay with the RPO game. 2nd straight carry for Dominic Roberto, but this time that Chattanooga front got on the football. Alex Mitchell's an outstanding linebacker. He wears number 41, and they say he plays the run fits very well.
And he'll have to continue to play those fits well, find the seam, get up the field. Also, good job on that play by Telly Plummer, number 29, to get past the tight end and get a hand out and trip the running back up.
So 3rd down at 4 now. The line of make is at the 49-yard line. Huff's going to put it up. Huff will now pull the football down. He's got a 1st down and a whole lot more. Tyler Huff showing his veteran quarterback understanding and moxie there got inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Big first down run for Huff.
Well, they almost get to Huff, and Huff had a receiver wide open, Ben Ferguson, on the pump play right there. But you see the ability by Huff to get outside of the pocket, scramble, use his feet to get away from the pressure and get up the field to get the first down.
Yeah, Joshua Harris, one of these outstanding wideouts. This tight formation now. Huff wants to put it up on first down. Taking a shot deep. It was off the hands of Kendall Dean. Dean had 6, left his feet, wasn't able to haul the football in.
And you have to wonder if Huff got a little bit excited because he saw his receiver separating. It's right there. If he's able to squeeze his hands, Kendall Dean, a good job of laying out for that football. It went right through his hands. If he's able to get his hands together and squeeze that football, they would be celebrating the touchdown right now. But good plays so far down the field. They've got receivers getting separation. Can the offensive line sustain and give Huff the time that he needs?
So the SoCon Player of the Year, Huff again. Gonna fire that in route, and he got picked off. That is intercepted. And on that INT is Clay Fields III. Well, the coaching staff told us this young man has shown great improvement his last 4 or 5 games. Look at how he read this pick.
And that is something you don't expect from
offense,
Huff.
number 75.
The elder statesman
Plan B decline.
playing quarterback.
10,
He eyeballed his receiver the entire way. Fields did a good job, the free safety, of reading Huff's eyes and stepping in the lane of that football right when it got to the receiver.
Outstanding pick. As we said, from Clay Fields. Plays free safety, plays the rover as well. So for the first time this afternoon, after the change of possession interception, Luke Schomburg to run this offense. This first carry of the afternoon, just not much there. As on that carry, as you take a look at Luke Schomburg, young man with his numbers on the season last week. He threw for 259 yards and a TD in that win against Austin Peay.
We'll talk about Moxie. This kid is from Huntsville, Alabama. His first career start is at the University of Alabama. You talk about butterflies, but he performed well and showed the coaching staff that they could trust him.
Schomburg will put it up for the first time today. He fired that quick out, and it was hauled in by Sam Phillips. Phillips made 3 excellent grabs to keep drives alive, the coaches told us, in that last week win against Austin Peay.
And you see the trust early in the young quarterback, Schomburg. He throws the ball across the field on an out route. That is a very dangerous throw, but they trust his ability to read the defense and put the ball where it needs to be.
Yeah, he's going to have to come up with a big play here. 3rd down and 6 to try to keep this drive alive. Off that play fake. That throw is hauled in. That's going to move the chains for a first down. As making that catch was one of the big tight ends. That's Jay Gibson, the 260-pound senior, just getting back today off injury.
Well, a good job by the receiver coming across the field, giving his quarterback a target. He kept working across the formation, but the face mask, I thought they missed. But the quarterback, once again, you see the pocket presence. He's able to not allow that to take him away from what he was doing and where he was looking to go with the football.
So great read by Schomburg. Now go back to the ground game. And again, that Furman front putting up that stone wall on Geno Appleberry. Appleberry, 205-pound senior out of Atlanta, started his career in Western Kentucky. Jeremiah Jackson, who wears that number 0 on that purple Paladin uniform, made that hit.
And I will say that Jeremiah Jackson won that encounter right there.
Yeah, he did. No question. 2nd down and 9. Couple of wide receivers at the top of the formation. Schomburg will gun the in route. He threw it behind his intended receiver. That's a Jamoy Hayes. Well, Jamoy Hayes is a real good one, this junior out of Griffin High School in Georgia. There's a good look at Jamoy Hayes. He had a fumble return for a touchdown late in the 2nd quarter. last week that really fueled that win over Austin Peay. The numbers on Jamoy Mays. 3rd down and 9 for Luke Schomburg. He'll put it up. Going to take a shot on that deep throw, and that is hauled in. Making that grab was Jamoy Mays. Boy, Schomburg threw that football beautifully on that border outside the numbers to find Mays.
And what Mays did a good job of is waiting to make a play on the football. He did not give Ivan Yates any signals as to when to try to make a defensive play on that football. He was very calm, and when the ball got there, that's when he put his hands up to squeeze that football.
Receivers can't give it away, can they, where that football is in the air? Gonna wait till that last possible second. Now back to the ground game again. Well, this very stingy front seven has got Geno Appleberry. I don't know if Appleberry got back to the line of scrimmage. They'll put him back, at the 34-yard line. So no gain for Appleberry. There's a look at, you said yesterday, transferred in from Western Kentucky. Had a real nice year. 8 touchdowns and almost 700 yards on the ground.
Well, Appleberry's one of those tackle-to-tackle runners. He likes to run in between the tackles. He runs behind his pads, and he likes to bring contact. But early on, Furman is winning at the point of attack.
Now Reggie Davis at the running back spot. Schomburg got to ad lib here. He's going to check down to Reggie Davis. Look at Davis lower the pads inside the 20. That's a 1st down. Reggie Davis hasn't been used in the pass game much this year, but came up with a big play here. Ad lib for Schomburg.
And a good job by Schomburg to make Braden Gilby, number 43, commit. And once Gilby committed, he's able to get the ball to his receiver to get down the field. That's what you have to do as a quarterback. Make those defenders commit. Then you open the lane to throw the football.
Red zone trip for the first time today on their first possession for Luke Schomburg, this red shirt freshman out of Huntsville, Alabama, running the show. Off play action, going to trigger the out. It was hauled in, but not much there. Did you see that burst coming up off the corner to make that hit as that throw for minimal gain on that 1st down to Javin Watley. Cam Brinson plays some strong safety on that hit. All right, 2nd and 5 now. Schomburg will throw that tunnel screen. Not much there again as that football comes out, but after the whistle, it was Jamoy Hayes on that grab. Jamoy Mays, excuse me, once again on that catch. Sarod Cook, a man who just saw wearing number 99. Look at the red zone deep for us, Conley, for Furman this year. Outstanding.
And what that tells you is they're winning at the point of attack, and they're not allowing the offensive lines to get a push.
All right, 3rd down and 3. The line to make is at the 9-yard line. Going to run the football. Now with a shot at the corner. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Reggie Davis. Well, outstanding work with the football from Luke Schomburg as Reggie Davis got outside the numbers and took it to the house for the Chattanooga touchdown.
One of the things that Reggie Davis did was he was able to bounce it to the outside. The Furman defense was all jumbled up in the middle trying to stop that inside run. But what Davis was able to do is bounce it to the outside, and he had the speed to get to the pylon to get the touchdown.
So it's Chattanooga who gets on the board first here on the road at Paladin Stadium in Greenville, South Carolina. Now Clayton Cryle looks to add the PAT out of the hold with quarterback Luke Schomburg. Cryle will do that. Real strong first drive for that young man, Luke Schomburg. Touchdown maker Reggie Davis. They're on the board first to give Chattanooga the early lead. Chattanooga Mock's offensive line getting a lot of glad hand from their head coach Rusty Wright as they went on a very strong drive, and they didn't convert in only one time in the red zone 4 weeks ago. As we take a look at the University of Tennessee Chattanooga school profile, of course, in the great city of Chattanooga, Tennessee. 10,000 students, and that man right there, Rusty Wright, got to be very, very pleased with that first possession, that first drive that put 7 on the board.
Well, this young quarterback, Schomburg, looked extremely comfortable out there. He was able to go through his progressions. I saw him break away and get away from pressure. He did not panic. He was able to find open receivers and get the ball to his playmakers. What more could you ask from a player playing the position of quarterback?
Yeah, no, that's.
I mean, it's kind of.
You get your football team in the end zone, right? Yeah, their first possession. Put 7 on the board on the road in this playoff game where most think you're the underdog. Got to love that if you're the Chattanooga Mocs. All right, Furman with the football for the second time when we come back. Don't go away. Back in Paladin Stadium. Time to see how the Furman Paladins respond after that 11-play, 81-yard drive. As that young quarterback, Luke Schomburg, put it together to get Chattanooga Mocs in the end zone on that Reggie Davis 11-yard touchdown. Very impressive drive from Schomburg and the Chattanooga Mocs. Now this first down carry off that left side out of that RPO game for Furman on that first down carry. Well, Tyler Huff, we mentioned, the young man, the SoCon Offensive Player of the Year. Look at him, only 1 loss against FCS teams. Only lost 3 times in 21 starts. Can stay on the ground with this carry.
One of the things Furman is doing a good job of is they're trying to create confusion with the defense for Chattanooga. They've got a lot of moving parts pre-snap. You've got jet sweep action. You've got backs coming the opposite direction. So what you want to do with that is confuse the defense and try and find the seam to get up the field.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you folks. There obviously has been a number change today because the young running back we do not have listed anywhere. So we'll see if we can find out where the number change potentially came from.
The previous play is under further review.
So as you take a look at
the previous play has been reviewed, and replay has determined that the ball was short of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd down and about a half yard.
All right, Greg Wilson, our white hat today, from the SoCon officiating crew. So that call was reversed.
And you see right here, look at where the ball is down. I think I agree with him. It's just short.
So now the sticks will move. The man who's wearing number 28 today is Grant Robinson. Again, our apologies, but not listed until a moment ago. So the sticks move for the Furman Paladins, and this is Grant Robinson on the carry. Robinson on the cutback to the 40-yard line for a gain of 4 on that first down call.
And one of the things you see early about Robinson when he runs the football, he's very twitchy. He's able to jump cut. He's able to get up in the seam and get up the field. I like the way he's reading his blocks. He's being patient when he gets the football, not just attacking the hole, but waiting for the play to develop.
Now Huff with time. Now that pocket will break down. Tyler Huff with that check down to Grant Robinson. Well, there's some of that senior awareness from the SoCon Player of the Year. No panic there as Huff found Robinson.
And Huff kind of did what Schomburg did. You make the defender commit. You see him, the defender's trying to make a choice. Once the defender commits, you're able to get the ball out to your ball carrier. But you've got to make that defender commit, so you've got to press him getting up the field towards the line of scrimmage.
So that redshirt sophomore out of Plano, Texas, Grant Robinson, getting some time and running back now. Huff's throw went to that outside shoulder and not able to come up with that was Josh Harris. That's going to bring up second down as Tyler Huff tried to keep Furman on the move.
And that was a dangerous throw because you've got defenders underneath coming across. So when you throw that pass, you've got to be precise and you've got to get it there before those defenders can react.
So Tyler Huff, who had a decent week of practice. That's Dominic Roberto on that carry. He's the power guy, the big 230-pounder, and they run that inside RPO with him real well.
And one of the things, once again, about Roberto is he runs behind his pads. He's been dealing with some injuries throughout this season, and that's kind of slowed him down. I don't think we haven't seen the production from him that we saw last year when he had that 1,000-yard season. He's still capable of making big runs, but I think those nagging injuries have played a part in why we haven't seen the numbers that we saw last year.
Now Huff to put it up on third down. His throw again a little bit too tall and not able to haul that in was Joshua Harris. So decision time here for Clay Hendricks. On fourth down to be a 4th and 7. And Clay Hendricks decides down 7-0 to get that punt team on the football field.
And I like this. You've got to play field position football right now. You don't want to give up great field position to this Mocs offense.
Ryan Levy is going to hang this high. Going to put that down inside the 2-yard line. And it is going to be down at the 1-yard line. As downing that was Travis Blackshear inside the 1-yard line. Let's take another look as we head out. Chattanooga with the lead, but they've got the football inside their own 1-yard line when we come back. Ryan Levy with an outstanding punt for Furman that has put the Chattanooga Mocs inside their own 1-yard line. And of course, here in Greenville, South Carolina, this Furman Paladins program has been one of the very best in the FCS. 2,400 students. And at home again here. Movement now. And we've got flags and whistles. I don't know how much it's going to go back, what, inches?
Well, I think right now the only penalty that can really hurt the offense is if you try and pass the football and get a holding penalty in the end zone. Of course, that would be, a safety. But outside of that, for the offensive lineman, the snap count. There's no reason for you to jump off sides. You can't worry about what the defense is doing. You've got to fire off the ball with the flat back, make contact with that second step hitting the ground, and try and get pushed at the point of attack.
Offensive lineman speaking it real well. That'll give them a little bit of room as that carry came from Geno Appleberry. Appleberry, the senior, started his career at Western Kentucky before the transfer in to UT Chattanooga.
And I'll tell you, one of the dangers when you've got all of your defenders in the box is if the back is able to get to the second level, there won't be any defenders, and he'll have a wide open field. So they have to be careful and play their keys.
See, the senior has really amped up the production the last couple of years. Appleberry again. Going to come up a couple yards shy of that line to make. It's going to bring up third down, and we'll call it a long 2 after back-to-back carries from Geno Appleberry.
And I'll tell you what, Mike, right now, this has been a successful drive, even if they don't get the first down, because what they've done is given their punter room to to get the kick off if they have to punt the football. That's one of the dangers when you're backed up against your own goal line. If you don't get any yards and you put your punter in there, now you put them in a bad position to try and get a punt off where there's a short field for the defenders to get to him.
That's starting right guard Elmarian Krim. Now, they've already he could move outside and play at one of the tackle spots next year. But we'll keep an eye on Krim as he's replaced by Will Buchanan, the sophomore. All right, this is third down, and let's call it a long two. That line to make is close to the 12-yard line for Luke Schomburg. That quick toss. That's hauled in, but going to come up shy as that pressure came. And coming away with the football as well off the corner for the Furman Paladins was Travis Blackshear. However, that throw caught, no gain, still 3rd and 2. Now, are they going to now say, let's move the chains, first down?
Yes, it looked like a first down. First of all, you've got to make that tackle. That's interesting. Was his knee down before the ball came down will be the big question.
Well, Blackshear came away with the football. I don't know that Joshua Harris, he was trying to extend right to get to the sticks as you look at Joshua Harris. But the sticks are moved for a first down. Oh, wait a minute. I think that Clay Hendricks wants to take a further look at this. We'll see.
And this is an early game-changing decision because if they give them the first down, they're able to extend this play. But if not, you're looking at Furman getting great field position. Once again, I think the key is going to be where was the football when his left knee touched the ground. I think his left knee is the first thing to touch the ground. This is a good look right here.
Look at that hit from Braden Gilby.
Left
Gilby, the 230-pounder. Yeah, it appeared that way, didn't it, Forrest?
Yes. I mean, and it was called the first down on the field.
In order to challenge the spot of the end of the run, play is under further review.
Now, one of the things you have to look at, it was called a first down on the field, so there has to be conclusive evidence to turn this over and change this call. And I'm wondering, can you conclusively say that he was down prior to getting the ball to the marker?
Yeah, Braden Gilby made that initial hit. That's Ryan, who wears number 6, the free safety.
Well, right there, see, 46, you've got to make that tackle. Alex Mayer, you've got to make that tackle in the backfield. And what you have to do in situations like that, where you're going up against an athlete that's probably a little bit more quicker and a little bit more twitchy than you are, you've got to stalk them. And what I mean by stalking is chop your feet when you get to them. Even if you don't make the tackle, some of the things the coaching staff talked about is miss the tackle the right way, meaning push the ball carrier back to where pursuit is coming from. Don't give him the edge. When you miss that tackle, you want to miss it from the outside to make him cut back inside to where pursuit is coming from, as opposed to giving him that edge.
All right, let's see.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Furman is charged a timeout and out of challenges for the rest of the game.
Not a very popular call here, of course, as you heard, as this Furman crowd. Now, we're told that the replay booth said we just don't have anything definitive on camera that will show that.
And that's what I was talking about. They called it a first down on the field. You've got to have definitive evidence to overturn that call.
Clay Hendricks, of course, not pleased. Sticks move, though. Remember, this drive started inside the 1 with the nose of the football was as close to the goal line as it was to the 1-yard line.
And let's see if losing that challenge hurts Furman later on in this ball game.
We will keep an eye on that for sure. Schomburg just lost the football. It looks like that Chattanooga was able to get back on top of it. They did. Tight end Jay Gibson. There's Gibson. Had got on the football.
That was a high snap, and Schomburg did a good job of trying to get over there and cover that up. Jay Gibson did a good job of covering it up, but that's almost one of those, remember the old basketball plays where they call a foul and ball don't lie?
That's right. You were thinking back to, would be Ball don't lie if Furman had come up with that fumble.
Furman would have come up with it.
Yeah. Jay Gibson, big 260-pound senior, started his career at Western Kentucky. As you look at Luke Schomburg, this quarterback who led his team into the end zone on their first possession, they're going to stay on the ground with Geno Appleberry. Appleberry, the 205-pounder, not much there. That's a good look at Geno Appleberry. What did Rusty Wright tell us? He said, I love running the inside zone with him because he and our interior linemen are in sync with that.
But what they're doing is they're squeezing and they're not giving up any seams or any lanes interior-wise. And I've seen Appleberry have to bounce it out a couple of times. So interior-wise, the defensive line is doing a good job for Furman, not allowing them to run that inside zone.
That 3rd and long from Luke Schomburg. Appleberry offset. This is Appleberry. Just not much there. I tell you, this front 7 force for Furman, they get off blocks and get to the football, don't they?
But one thing that's impressive about them, they're 3rd in the country in sacks, but no player has more than 6 sacks. So that lets you know they do it by committee. All these guys are committed, and they're doing a good job of playing their 111th and being only concerned with what their assignment is, not being a big play guy, but making sure they take care of their business, and you see the results.
Yeah, that hit came from Sarad Cook, and now trying to punt that football away. Got a good tail drag on that. Well, picking it up at the 40-yard line was Joshua Harris. As I don't know if that could come out any better for Chattanooga, given that they started with the football virtually on their own goal line on that possession. I want to remind all of you that the NCAA and NCAA.com is your home for all of the FCS football championships. Make sure that you stay locked in. NCAA.com, quarterfinal coverage, ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN+. That Chattanooga defense coming up strong as they're able to flow to the football, and they got that stop on Colton Hinton. The freshman is telling us he's the fastest young receiver on this football team.
Great diagnosis and reaction by Clay Fields, number 3, to get up the field and disrupt that offensive play.
That is going to be the final snap of what has turned out to be a very expressive opening first 15 minutes of football. The Chattanooga Mocs have come on the road. They got that big pick. And then they got the touchdown run to the corner from their running back, Reggie Davis. Got a 7-0 lead when we get back. All right, 15 minutes football in the books. Chattanooga, that strong first drive of the afternoon to give them a 7-0 lead over the 7 seed, the Furman Paladins. And defensively, we have not seen Jay Person as of yet. Now, he's got a shoulder injury, but you see what kind of a tremendous defensive end as these 2 guys, Jay Person and Ben Bruton, have been lockdown DNs as Huff will waggle right, and his throw is hauled in. Tyler Huff, this tremendous graduate quarterbacking phenomenon for the Furman Paladins, is able to hook up his throw there with Luke Shiflett.
One of the ways that you negate that defensive end pressure is scramble outside of the pocket, and that's one of the things they're doing with Huff, is getting him outside of the pocket, allowing him to have more time to go down the field with the football.
Now this is Grant Robinson on that carry, tried to cut it back. Give Robinson 3, you're going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
And right now, Grant Robinson seems to be the feature back for Furman. We talked about Roberto coming off of injury, dealing with nagging injuries throughout this season. But Robinson has done a pretty good job when he's been able to plant that foot and get north and south. He's shown that he's a power runner. He's shown that he can fall forward and is a fall forward runner.
Yeah, Mayan Hicks is also a young man who has run the football effectively this year for Furman. Have not seen him as of yet either. Now Huff is going to throw inside, and that is hauled in. That's Luke Shiflett again. That quick throw. Shiflett made the grab to move the chains. First down, Furman.
Once again, you see Shiflett, he's finding a hole, sitting down, making himself a target for his quarterback. Good job by Shiflett to know where to sit down and give his quarterback the target that he needs.
There's a good look at Luke Shiflett. 195-pounder out of Dalton, Georgia. Robinson. Good move by Robinson. Made that linebacker miss, and Robinson is down and pushed out of bounds at the 26-yard line as Tyler Huff looking to go quickly.
And I like the patience by Robinson. Once again, you've got jet sweep action coming across the field, so the linebacker's eyes get focused on that, and you've got Robinson coming back the opposite way. He's following his lead blocker and allowing the play to develop before he gets up the field.
Tight formation now for quarterback Tyler Huff. Huff will step up, ad-libbing that, and hit his throw to Ben Ferguson. Well, that just shows you some of that four-year starting moxie of Tyler Huff.
And you said it right there, the moxie and the recognition of knowing where his receiver is going to be. Watch when Huff breaks outside. He climbs the pocket, but he automatically knows, because he understands and knows this offense in and out. He knows where his receiver Ferguson is going to be, so he knows where he can go with the football from the pressure that he's seeing.
The Huff-Ferguson combination. Now inside the red zone time for the Furman Paladins, and they'll give the football to Dominic Roberto. Roberto made that good cut, but Roberto didn't rush that, did he? He waited to set up his blocks as he had that pin and pull action was going on.
And once again, you see him following his tight end. The tight end gets up in the hole and in the alley, and then Roberto plants that foot and gets north and south. You've got the play side tackle and guard coming down. The play side tight end and tackle coming down with the guard kicking out, and the opposite tight end coming up, leading up in the hole with the back following him. So a good job of reading that and allowing the play to develop.
Roberto's been limited all year long. This is Roberto on that quick toss from Tyler Huff. And Roberto got knocked down at about the 2-yard line as Chattanooga ran to the football well and made that hit.
And I think a healthy Roberto gets to the pylon. He's not as quick on his feet as he usually is, and you can tell he's still recovering from those injuries that he's incurred this season. But I think a healthy Roberto is able to get to the pylon and score that touchdown.
Yeah, good point, Fo. And you know, I remember we were told, too, they said he practiced very well Tuesday and Wednesday, and they thought he was well enough. Huff keeping the football. Huff got crunched, couldn't get to the pylon. As coming up leading that hit for Chattanooga was Clay Fields. Clay Fields the third who came up. Where's number 3? Look at him pursue.
And these are opportunities that defenses look for when a quarterback runs and puts his head down and come forward. Usually quarterbacks are sliding and defenses have to pull up to make sure they don't get a penalty. But when a quarterback puts his head down, coming and running the football, these are the opportunities that defenses look for.
3 tight ends. Tight personnel look. Roberto's in the end zone. Dominic Roberto, touchdown, Furman.
And one of the things that was obvious on this play is you see a lot of Chattanooga players on their backs, on their knees. They got knocked back, pushed back. You see all of those jerseys being turned to the side because the Furman offensive line fired off and won at the point of attack. And usually the first person that makes contact wins that battle. And the offensive line made first contact and won that battle in the trenches, allowing for Roberto to basically walk into the end zone.
Yeah, it's a real strong drive, that Furman put together. Hopefully, for from their standpoint, looking to get this tied up. Ryan Levy will attempt this extra point out of the hold of Charles Watson. lining up to kick this out of the hold of Levy. So Charles Watson with the extra point delivery. Ryan Levy, who normally handles it, held it. But the big dive to the house. Dominic Roberto to the end zone. We're tied at 7 apiece, second quarter. Eighth trip to the end zone. Yeah, hey, Dominic Roberto saw him in the end zone a moment ago. Eighth time and rushing TD for Roberto this year. Young man, terrific year. Gained over 700 yards on the ground and knows how to get to the house.
And he's such a tough runner, the way he runs the football. And one of the things we continue to talk about and harp on is the patience of these running backs from this Furman ball club. They're just not putting their head down and running up in the holes. They're looking and they're trying to allow plays to develop. They're following their blocking schemes, and they're making it very difficult for the defenders from Chattanooga to get a good clean hit on them. So they're doing an extremely good job of their 111th doing what they are capable of doing and what they're supposed to do, not trying to be the big play every time you get the football.
For sure. And, you know, it's obviously it's worked very well for this 7th seed, the Furman Paladins. One of those non-returnable boots from Ian Williams, and that will get the Chattanooga Mock started at the 25-yard line. You take a look at the numbers here today. Well, Chattanooga's run those 17 plays, and they want to keep the offense on the football field, even if it ends in a punt. You know, that's something they want to make sure that they do. That was almost picked off as that throw from the young quarterback Luke Schomburg, incomplete. Micah Robinson had the coverage out of the secondary for Furman.
And you know what, Mike? I don't blame Schomburg for that. I blame the offensive line. That was a screen pass, and it's designed for the lineman to cut the defenders, but you've got to sell pass first and then cut. They all directly cut at the snap of the football. If you got to sell it, then cut.
Now Schomburg's going to go to the ground game. And that second down carry. Going to get 4. Let's bring up second down and 6 now. We'll make it third down and 6. That line to make is up at the 35-yard line. Luke Schomburg with running back Reggie Davis offset. Going to go to that RPO game, and this is Davis streaking through a hole, and a strong third down carry into Furman territory. Reggie Davis, 195-pound redshirt sophomore, running the RPO game on 3rd and 6.
He's a great play, great job by the offensive lineman, climbing up to the second-level defenders. Great tandem blocks for the tackles and guards, and they take over and able to get to that second-level defender. That is what you want to see from that offensive line. Get those tandem blocks, those double teams up to that second level.
So Chattanooga in Furman territory for the second time today. Stay on the ground and to run hard through contact again is Reggie Davis.
And one of the things that Chattanooga wants to do in this football game is establish the run. You want to start to make this Furman defense overcommit to that box. Bring safeties down in the box. That is when you'll get one-on-one chances on the outside with Mays and Watley and Phillips. The other receiver that we haven't talked a lot about, Sam Phillips, with 611 yards.
Yeah.
He's that third guy. So that's what they're looking to create, those one-on-one matchups on the outside.
After Davis runs hard twice, Gino Appleberry is back off that play fake. That Schomburg throw is hauled in for about 5 as he's able to hook up with Javin Watley. And on that hit out of the Furman secondary was Cam Brinson. First time we've called Brinson today, the strong safety who wears number 3 out of Augusta, Georgia.
And this is where you want to be on third down. You want to be in 3rd and 5 or less. It gives you more plays in the playbook. It opens up the playbook for opportunities to get down the field and get that first down.
3 wide receivers now with a pair of backs. Flags, whistles, right as the snap came to quarterback Luke Schomburg. It's going to cost Chattanooga 5.
Ball start. Offense number 56. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
And
Jeremiah Cat.
And that is unacceptable from the offensive line coaching perspective, because you're right next to the football. You know the snap count. There's no reason for you to jump off sides. You have to remember you can't worry about what the defense is doing. You know the snap count. They don't. They're reacting to the football.
Now puts Chattanooga back to a 3rd down and 10 now. That line to make is at the 36-yard line for quarterback Luke Schomburg and his offense. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the bottom of your screen. Schomburg in trouble. Schomburg got hit as he threw, and it was almost picked off. But Schomburg very dangerously put that up. Callie Chizik, the son of longtime college football coach G. Chizik, had the initial hit.
Well, it all starts from the right side of that defensive line. They just ran over the entire left side of the offensive line. Schomburg had immediate pressure. He's able to high step out of the pressure, using his hand to grab his balance. But you saw some youth. He threw it back across his body, something you don't want to do when you've got defenders coming at you. He got away with one on that play, and I'm sure the coaching staff will tell him, let's not do that again.
Yeah, he really did. Joshua Harris now decides not to play that on a hop, and that punt from Clayton Cryle is going to come to rest at the 7-yard line. That's where Furman starts in his 7-7 tie. Tyler Huff never lost a Southern Conference football game as a starting quarterback for Furman. Hit a couple of throws to Luke Shiflett here, Forrest Conley. Then hooked up again with Ben Ferguson. Impressive drive.
Well, what he's been doing is using his feet, scrambling outside of the pocket, finding open receivers, and keeping the play alive, climbing the pocket when pressure is coming from the outside.
You see the numbers, hit all 4 of his throws. Now, though, for the first time today, he's got to start from inside his own 10-yard line. So from the 8-yard line, in this 7-7 tie for quarterback Tyler Huff and the Furman offense. Huff will check that down and hit his throw as he was able to hook up with Wayne Anderson.
And a good job by Huff to occupy Alex Mitchell's eyes, number 41. He kept his eyes in the middle of the field, keeping Alex Mitchell over there, allowing for him to get the ball to the outside to his back.
Wayne Anderson has caught the football a lot out of the backfield this year. It's his 18th catch of the year. Through a gaping hole with all kinds of speed. On that carry for, I was asking about Mayan Hicks. At Forrest Conley, they got Mayan Hicks, the football there, and got great blocks as he ran free.
Once again, you see the offensive lineman doing a good job of covering up those defenders. You've got linebackers trying to flow downhill, but those guards are able to cover them up. And the speed by Hicks once he gets to the outside. He pulled up there. I'm thinking it looks like it's something with the hamstring, but he's able to get his team in great field position right now.
First carry of the afternoon for Hicks, big 40-yard gain. Now I go back to Dominic Roberto. As Roberto, it almost looks like head coach Clay Hendricks still got it with his offensive line and said, fellas, all right, this drive's going to be about you. We'll get our run game going.
It's called one of those grown man drives where you challenge your offensive line to go out there and be hand eaters. You know, we don't want spoon and fork eaters right now. We need some hand eaters. And that's what he's challenged those guys to do. Go out there, hit somebody in the mouth. You know what Mike Tyson said? Everybody has a plan until you get hit in the mouth.
Yeah. Yep. On 2nd down and 7. Looking to get to the corner is Wayne Anderson Jr. They said Anderson, a guy, they'll get him involved in that run game as they run like that, and a lot of times they'll throw him the football, as we saw on the first snap of this drive.
Wayne Anderson is one of those players you want to get the ball in space because of his speed. He's a track guy. And when you get him the ball on the perimeter, he can be extremely special.
So Dominic Roberto is the one back. Brock Chappell, the freshman, is now in motion across the formation. Huff, play fake, in trouble. How did he get out of there? Again, Tyler Huff. I think I used that term moxie from one time before, but the other thing that this young man, senior now, has not seen running his offense.
Well, he doesn't panic, and he does a good job of climbing the pocket and getting as many positive yards as he could, but the offensive tackles have got to do a better job on the outside of keeping those shoulders square to the line of scrimmage and kicking straight back.
4th and a yard. Huff in trouble. How about the defensive surge from the Mocs of Chattanooga on that 4th down and short? Well, they had 4 jerseys there to make that hit. Jordan Walker, the strong safety, took him down.
Well, Huff had what he wanted right there. Mason Pline, the big 6'7", 260-pound tight end, was open initially. He should have released the football. He didn't. He wanted to get too much. You've got to take what you can, get the first down, move on, extend the drive. Now they turn the ball over. Bad decision by Huff.
Tied at 7 when we come back. Tied at 7 apiece here as we're inside the 4-minute mark in the second quarter. When you take a look at Rusty Wright and what he's had to deal with his Chattanooga Mocs, Forrest, I don't know, man. Over 50 games missed from his starters this year, and the top of that list is starting quarterback Chase Artopius.
Well, you've got to adjust. Unfortunately, they've dealt with a plethora of injuries this season, but that's why you have your second and third teamers ready and prepared to go, because you never know. You're always one ankle sprain away from being on the football field.
Now Luke Schomburg off play action. He tried to find Jamoy Mays on that out route, and he one-hopped it, going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, a good job by Matt Sokova to get pressure on Schomburg, not allow him to get as much as he wanted to on that football because of that immediate pressure. And I think that's something that we've got to see from Furman on defense. They've got to dial up the pressure a little bit more on this young quarterback. He's really comfortable back there. And when you have a young quarterback, you want to start to make them think. You want to move around, bring different exotic blitzes. You want to show him something that he's not familiar with. I don't think you can be vanilla and continue to have an effect on him.
2nd and 10, back to the ground game. Look at the hard running. Love the way that Gino Appleberry, they list him at 5'9", maybe on a good day, but lowered his pads real well there and got 5.
And once again, he's one of those backs that wants to get downhill immediately. He's a tackle-to-tackle back. That is where he's most effective. And you've got to remember, at 5'9", he can get behind those linemen. So for linebackers and safeties coming up in the box, you have to diagnose and try and figure out where he is when he has the football. All
right, 3rd down and 5. This Furman Paladin crowd making noise now. Schomburg's throw, that's hauled in. That's a first down into Furman Paladin territory as the youngster Luke Schomburg hit that throw as he was able to hook up.
Well, the good thing that Phillips does is he knows where the sticks are and he gets beyond the sticks. A lot of times younger receivers don't run the route far enough on 3rd and short. So he did a good job of knowing where the sticks were and getting beyond the sticks before he made himself a target for his quarterback.
Sam Phillips, you see the numbers this year. They made 3 terrific catches to keep drives alive against Austin Peay. Now back to the ground game. That big opening allowed Gino Appleberry on that first down call. And when you go to roll RPO in your run game, you're getting 5, 6, 7 on those first down carries. That's keeping you ahead of the sticks.
Absolutely. What it's going to do is going to make Furman start to commit more players to the box. And once again, that is the idea for Chattanooga. If they can get more players down in the box, then you get those one-on-one matchups on the outside with Mays, Watley, and Phillips, and they feel like they have the advantage with their receivers one-on-one against these defensive backs from Furman.
See if it materializes on 2nd and 5, and that was whistled dead as Schomburg was making his ball fake on that snap. It's Bryce Stanfield.
False start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Dave Monat, that right tackle, 315-pounder, got hit with the premature movement. Not sure Rusty Wright thinks so, huh, Fo?
Clock operator. Please
of course, he's not going to be divisional.
1-5-1 and start on my signal.
Now, I'm sure if it was offsides, he would be really happy about that call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
So we're at 1:51 left in this 2nd quarter. Glad you're along here out of Paladin Stadium in Greenville, South Carolina, with us as Furman and Chattanooga go at it. Schomburg will fire the out. Too tall as he was looking for Javin Watley. And it's going to bring up now a 3rd down and 10.
There's really nowhere for Schomburg to go with the football on that play. Good job by Furman covering up those receivers, not giving him any space.
Well, once again, this Furman Paladin crowd making a lot of noise for their defense. Javin Watley, one of the top receivers in the SoCon this year. 3rd and 10 for young Luke Schomburg, the redshirt freshman. I think this noise that as we were just mentioning being made, maybe starting to affect Schomburg in the offense.
Well,
number 87.
All of these
3rd down.
procedure penalties are on the offensive line, and that is unacceptable. Once again, you know the snap count. The defense does not. You've got to sit down in your stance, sit down in your hips. You cannot be on your toes. And you've got to, concentrate. You can't worry about what's going on, what noises they're making, what movements they're doing. You know the snap count.
They got tight end Jay Gibson. All right, 3rd and 15. Back to the ground game for Appleberry. And he got crunched. Not sure. Maybe didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And now Furman going to get that quick timeout after they got their stop. As in on that hit was Braden Gilby, that terrific linebacker. Furman gets a timeout. They want that football back again.
Well, I think with your Chattanooga fan base, you're looking and you're saying, why are they being so conservative? And that's why they wanted to make Furman use that timeout.
Putting it away is Chattanooga when we get back. Tied at 7 apiece, 90 seconds left in this 2nd quarter. Chattanooga going to punt the football away after that 3 and out. They weren't able to move it, so Furman's going to get the football back. Furman will get it back here with just 1 timeout left. As you take a look at Joshua Harris, he's the return man for Furman. As this punt is angled out of bounds. We'll see where that football is spotted. Probably in the area of the 30-yard line, right on the 30-yard line. So Clayton Cryle did not get that kind of putt off that Chattanooga was hoping for.
I think Cryle was just trying to get the ball out of there because he had a lot of pressure, and I thought Furman may have been able to block that if they wanted to.
5th time that the Furman Paladins will have the football with their outstanding quarterback Tyler Huff. Saw the first 4 times. The 2nd drive of the afternoon resulted in that touchdown that got this one tied up at 7 apiece after Chattanooga got on the board first. Huff going to ad-lib again, and that throw is hauled in. That's Luke Shiflett. Well, Huff, he gets off that first receiver as well as any quarterback we've seen in the FCS.
Well, one of the things I want to see from Chattanooga is you've got to bring pressure. You know what Furman is trying to do. They're trying to pass the football, get the ball down the field. They only have one timeout. Keep everything in the middle of the field. But I want to see more pressure. You cannot allow Huff to sit back there and pick you apart.
Third catch of the afternoon for Luke Shiflett. Now Huff again. Going to step up. Tyler Huff in open space. Got knocked down as he got to the 44-yard line, so give Huff 6 as that clock continues to spin.
And Chattanooga dropped 7 back into coverage. They've got 4 rushing.
Huff will throw the out off the hands of Joshua Harris. Too tall and incomplete. Now going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
And that's the danger of going quick, fast-paced when you're trying and needing to get a first down. Remember, the clock will stop because it's under a minute before the half to reset the chains. So you want to concentrate on that first down. I don't like that play call on second, running up to get to the line of scrimmage and not really being set and going where you wanted or needed to go with the football.
3 wide receivers, top of your screen for Tyler Huff. He's going to check down. That is caught by Wayne Anderson. Wayne Anderson, the graduate out of the state of Texas, made that grab.
And the one player, if you're Chattanooga, that you don't want to get the ball in the open field is the speedster, Wayne Anderson. The linebackers have to do a better job of diagnosing where he's going when he doesn't get the ball out of the backfield and making sure they keep him covered up.
Well, they line him up, although sometimes he'll offset with Huff in the backfield. Other times he'll be in the slot.
And they're trying to create that matchup.
Yeah. Huff checking down Anderson again. Ooh, he got crushed. Anderson got the pads put on him as that hit came from that hard-hitting linebacker Alex Mitchell.
30-second timeout.
Final timeout.
That is their 3rd and final
That's
timeout.
it for the timeouts as far as the Furman goes. And they're looking at a second down here. More importantly, though, the 41 seconds left. How judicious, Forrest, you got to be here as you play call for Furman now without a timeout.
Furman, there are 3 options. 1, you've got to throw the ball to the sideline so your player can get out of bounds. 2, you've got to throw the ball past the sticks, so if they get the reception and they're not out of bounds, the clock stops while they reset the chains. Or 3, you've got to go to the end zone. If you don't do any of those 3, you're going to put yourself in a position to lose, the opportunity to put another score on the board before the half.
Yeah, their offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, Justin Roper. He let Forrest and I know this week that he has the ultimate faith, confidence, and trust in that young man. Where's number 6, quarterback Tyler Huff, who's looking to put it up. Huff's going to take a shot. Corner of the end zone. It was on the hands of Luke Shiflett. That could have been the 6th end zone throw you were looking for.
And Shiflett, you've got to make that catch. You've got to help your quarterback. Once again, he got past the defensive back. You've got to make that catch.
Tough catch.
Yeah, but you got to make it.
Yeah, no,
you
partner,
can't miss the catch and then jump over the gate and show your athletic ability to jump over the gate. Show me that athletic ability when you can jump up and squeeze that football.
Luke Shiflett was not able to haul that in. Already caught 3 today. Now Huff off play action. Huff will take a shot, and he overthrew Ben Ferguson.
Now, I want to ask you this, Mike.
Yeah.
Play action. Why are you running play action?
I don't understand it.
We know they're not going to hand the ball.
Is anybody going to honor the run fake?
I think you go 5 wide, you spread them out, and you still, once again, go to the end zone. I didn't like that play call, but I understand you want to make sure you have time to get this field goal attempt. So I get where they were going with that. I don't like the play call, but at the same time, they get an opportunity to put more points on the board before the half.
Be a 44-yard attempt from Ian Williams. A lot of leg, and he hit it. Williams would have hit that if it was from 60. As he drilled that. Ian Williams now 15 for 20 on the year with 25 seconds left to give the Furman Paladins this 3-point lead. Their first lead of the afternoon comes with just 25 ticks left in the first half. So they got points off that drive. Partner, you obviously thought, on a couple of occasions, it should have been in the end zone for 6.
Well, first and foremost, I thought Shiflett should have made that play. We know they're not going to make every play, but that's a play that you have to make in a winner-takes-all game because you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get like that.
There you see it. 44 yards covered over the 8 plays and led to the Ian Williams. That's his he's now 15 of 21 on the year. And like I said, from that area, he was 2 of 4. That one from 44, he had enough leg on it from 60 for him to split the uprights.
And I tell you what was key also is Chattanooga gets the ball coming out in the second half. So for Furman, that was a score that was needed.
It's going to be unreturnable there as Chattanooga, with only 25 seconds left, they do not have any timeouts left. Or do they? Wait a minute. Yeah, they do. Chattanooga's got 3 timeouts. Excuse me. I was going back over our Furman offensive thoughts. So Chattanooga does have the timeout to work with for their very young quarterback. And again, Luke Schomburg did not begin the year as the starter. That was Chase Artopius who did. Artopius, 63, hit 63% of his throws and 20 TDs this year. Going to keep it on the ground and through a gaping hole. That'll stop the clock because picking up that first down was Reggie Davis. That got 11 real quick.
And if you're Chattanooga, you're not going to use a timeout. You need to line up on the football. I guess they're going to let it go.
Well, with 19 seconds left, head coach Rusty Wright says, fellas, we're not going to snap the football again. Had 19 seconds left, and Rusty Wright said, let this go after that 11-yard first down jaunt. Pretty entertaining first 30 minutes of football. No question about that. As Furman will take this 10-7 lead as the rain starts to really come down here in Greenville. We're seeing if we can effort Furman head coach Clay Hendricks, the SoCon Coach of the Year. Clay Hendricks, thank you for joining us. Michael Regai and Forrest Conley. Defensively, after that first possession, your football team really responded. How'd you feel they played after that first Chattanooga possession?
We played well defensively. I thought even on the first drive, other than the third down, I think we let them convert 3 third downs. We had a chance to tackle the quarterback. We played really solid over there. I think we've moved the ball well offensively. We just got to finish drives, and it's exactly a game like I thought it would be. And you know, it's going to be a 60-minute game, and we got to be ready to play 60 minutes.
Coach Hendricks, thanks so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Clay Hendricks, his 7th season here, and of course the SoCon Coach of the Year in this 2023 campaign. All right, let's get our halftime roll ready for you out of Greenville, South Carolina. A good one going on here. Second round FCS championship. Furman with a 10-7 lead on Chattanooga. Back inside Paladin Stadium here on the campus of Furman University, Greenville, South Carolina. Expected this to be very tight, very closely played, and that's exactly what we have. Furman with this 10-7 lead over Chattanooga at halftime. I'm Michael Regai. My partner is Forrest Conley. They played 4 weeks ago today. Same type of football game. Exactly the same type of football game as this one defensive-minded, very tough. Seeing the same thing today.
Absolutely, and I think for both of these teams, there's a lot of familiarity, and you see that in this ball game, and you see the intensity in this football game. They both know what each other does. It's just going to be a challenge to see who can do what they do the best this afternoon.
Yeah, and Luke Schomburg, this young quarterback for Chattanooga, put that very first drive together and got his football team in the end zone. And after that, it pretty much Furman made sure defensively that that was the only one in the first half that Schomburg was able to get rolling.
Well, you've got to pressure the young quarterback. You cannot give him time. You've got to show him exotic blitz packages. You've got to move your defense around pre-snap. You want to make him think. You want to create havoc in his mind and make him feel uncomfortable. If you allow him to be comfortable, he will beat you down the field. We saw how well he was able to play last week in that first-round playoff win against Austin Peay. We saw the moxie in this young man, his first start at Alabama in Tuscaloosa. So this is not too big for him.
Right.
And I think they have to bring pressure to keep him uncomfortable.
The veteran quarterback, Tyler Huff, for Furman, been in this type of situation, the Offensive Player of the Year in the SoCon. Real close on a couple of throws to putting a couple more touchdowns on the board for Furman. Didn't materialize.
Well, I've been impressed with Huff, his ability to escape the pocket, to escape pressure, to climb the pocket, but he's always keeping his eyes downfield, looking to go down the field with the football, and he knows where his receivers are. So I think his familiarity, his senior leadership, and him being out on the field and using his feet are what we've seen and why they've been successful offensively.
Yeah, we'll see how this all plays out in the next 30 minutes of football. I won't say the last 30 minutes of football because it's tight at 10-7. All right, let's take a look at how this first half unfolded. And there's Schomburg making those throws.
Well, you saw he didn't panic when he got his face mask pulled. He kept his eyes down the field and got the ball to his receiver. And this right here, I love the way the receiver did not give it away to the defensive back until the last minute when the ball arrived.
Yeah, outstanding grab here. And Schomburg, again, was able to turn this into a possession-filled drive that got him in the end zone.
Absolutely, and then you get it to your back. He's able to bounce it to the outside and beat the defense to the pylon to get the first score on the board.
Reggie Davis in the end zone. There's Tyler Huff. A lot of ad-lib for Huff, using his legs to try to keep plays alive.
Absolutely, and he has to do that because they're bringing pressure, immediate pressure. You see him climbing the pocket, but he's also keeping his eyes down the field, makes the defender commit, then he gets the ball to his back out of the backfield to get down the field.
And Huff continued on this, what would be the touchdown drive, as he got a lot of his skilled position players with him involved.
And he gave his body up, and then once again, you give it to your power back, Roberto. He's able to put his pads down, run behind those shoulder pads, and get the touchdown for this Furman ball club.
And that's where we are through 30 minutes of football. Furman with a 10-7 lead. Both squads getting ready to go. Third quarter coming up next. As promised, as we get you back inside Paladin Stadium, the numbers from the first half of football balanced for Chattanooga, Forrest Conley. And, of course, a couple of big gains on the ground has put the run game into emphasis for Furman.
It's kind of been balanced across the board when you look at Furman running for 114, passing for 102, 216 total yards. And once again, like you said, Chattanooga 74 and 84 yards rushing and passing. Time of possession is almost the same. I think the big key for this ball game is almost looking like it's going to end up being who has the ball last now. But defensively, they've got to bring more pressure. I think, once again, they've got to bring more pressure on the young quarterback. And let's see how this consistent rain that we're now going to have in the second half will affect both ball clubs being able to throw it down the field.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, speaking of those that put the football in the air, let's take a look at the work of the quarterbacks. Luke Schomburg with the starter. Chase Artopius not able to go. Schomburg moved the football around well, especially in that first drive.
Well, I've been impressed with Schomburg. His ability to find the open receiver, scramble, keep his eyes down the field, some pinpoint passing. He's dropped the ball in the breadbasket on a couple of plays. And then right here, making the defense commit, then getting the ball to the ball player on the outside, a playmaker, allowing him to get down the field and get positive yards, not taking any unnecessary contact from the quarterback position. And then Huff on the other side, once again, you've got the steady bet. he does the same thing as Schomburg does, makes the defense commit. He gets outside the pocket, gets the ball down the field to one of his big play receivers. And then once again, he knows where to go with the football when he's got immediate pressure. He knows where those guys are going to be. He climbs the pocket once again and keeps his eyes down the field with the recognition of knowing where the ball carriers and his playmakers are on the outside. And when you get the ball to your playmaker, like Wayne Anderson, number 9, he's going to be able to do big things in the open field.
All right, so there's your numbers on the quarterbacks. Again, I think defenses, I thought played very well. Getting after quarterbacks today as well. And for Luke Schomburg, we'll see if this second half allows him to pick up that pass game a little bit. All right, don't go away. When we get back, we'll hopefully be able to have a chat with Rusty Wright, the head coach of the Chattanooga Moccasins. 10-7, Furman on top of Chattanooga when we come back to Greenville, South Carolina. Chattanooga Moccasins here on the road at Paladin Stadium, down 10-7 to Furman. A moment ago, as you came back on the football field, we chatted with Chattanooga head coach Rusty Wright. Pleased to be joined by Rusty Wright, the head football coach of the Chattanooga Moccasins. Balanced first half, Rusty. Luke Schomburg, what are you looking for offensively to get more points on the board in the second half?
Well, I mean, there's a reason. They're pretty good. It's hard to move the football and do some things, but that's the thing. It's basically a 0-0 game. Start second half. We wanted it to be as ugly as we could make it, and we've made it that way. And we've given ourselves a chance. Come out here in the second half, try and go win it.
Rusty Wright, appreciate your time. Good luck second half. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wanted to make it ugly for us, Conley, and to that end. And in that sense, Rusty Wright and his staff have to be pleased. Got a low-scoring football game 4 weeks ago today. They wound up losing a 17-14 low-scoring football game to Furman.
Well, one thing you've got to feel good about if you're Coach Wright is the play of your young quarterback. This is not too big for him. The situation's not too big. He's shown moxie, he's shown poise, and he's made some plays. Now, he's going to have to make some more plays down the stretch of this ball club to win, but I think they've got a remedy and a recipe for success. You see how they've played in this first half. They've got to continue that. They've got to get better play at the offensive line and get that rushing attack going a little bit more. I think that will give the young quarterback the time that he needs and opportunities that he needs to get to those big play receivers.
We'll see if that materializes. There's a good look at Luke Schomburg, 9 of 14, 84 yards, hit a long of 32 in that first half. The football team down 10-7 in this first snap. Will stay with the ground game. The ability that Reggie Davis has shown to be able to get off first hits today and continue to gain a few more yards has been terrific.
And let's not overlook, they gained 74 yards running in the first half. And once again, you see Davis right here able to bounce off a defender, keep his feet, keep his balance, and get up the field. So if they continue to get 4 and 5 yards a pop, that's going to bring more players down in the box, and we'll see those matchups on the outside.
Davis with his second consecutive carry on 2nd and 5. Again, he'll get off first contact and get a couple. Going to bring up 3rd down and 3. In again, coming up to make that hit for Furman. They call him the Spur. Kelly Chiswick, the son of Gene Chiswick, the longtime college football coach. Third down and 3. That line to make is at the 35-yard line for Luke Schomburg and the Chattanooga offense. Ground game, not going to get there. There's 5 purple-shirted Furman Paladins in on that hit as they got after Reggie Davis. The first one there for Furman, making that stop from Evan DiMaggio, and DiMaggio had help.
Well, that play took too long to develop. I think for a play like that where or the defense feels like you're going to run the ball, it's got to be a quick hit. So you've got to get your speedster, and I thought getting Reggie Davis to the outside with the outside zone would have been a better play.
Now that line drive punt. Going to get a good tail wag on that down to the 32-yard line where it is put down, and that's where the Furman Paladins will start offensively for their first possession here in the third quarter. Great to have you along here at Paladin Stadium today in Greenville, South Carolina. Michael Regai, Forrest Conley, our producer David Tasca, director Kevin Shank, all of our terrific ESPN crew as you take a look at the veteran quarterback that has had such a distinguished career here at Furman, Tyler Huff, 215-pound graduate student out of the state of Florida. That first snap, ground game to Dominic Roberto. Roberto, again, Forrest limited all season long with that high ankle injury. But they feel like in the last couple of weeks he's got back more to his normal skill level.
Well, you see the power running by Roberto. He's not as fluid as we're used to seeing him when he's running the football, but he's still very effective because of the power that he runs with.
Had the 1-yard touchdown rush in the first half. Back to the ground game. Roberto again. Going to come up a couple yards shy of that first down. As in on that hit for Chattanooga, Kobe Joseph, that outside linebacker.
And this is where you challenge your offensive line. You need 2 yards for a first down. Fire off the football.
Quick toss. I don't think he got there. That quick toss to Dominic Roberto, and Roberto got knocked down at the 41-yard line. Now that line to make is the 42. Decision time here for Clay Hendricks on 4th and short.
No, you definitely punt the football. You've got a 3-point lead. You don't want to give up a short field. If you couldn't get 2 yards, what makes you think you're going to get 1 right there? What I don't like about that play is it's a stretch play with Roberto. Once again, he's a downhill north-south runner. I don't like the idea of him flaring out and getting the pitch and trying to get up the field.
Hanging that boot high, and a fair catch is going to be called by Chattanooga's Jamoy Mays. All right, that's where Luke Schomburg and the Chattanooga offense is going to start. They're down by 3 at 10-7. Back at Greenville, South Carolina, Furman on top of Chattanooga at 10-7. We mentioned Gene Chizik to you a moment ago. Gene Chizik, the longtime college football coach. This is when he was at Stephen F. Austin, linebacker Callie Belcher. He was a position coach there, and Belcher, the young man who was part of that Stephen F. Austin football team, out of a brain aneurysm. And now, of course, the reason Gene Chizik named his son Callie in honor of Callie Belcher.
What a great story. I tell you what, Callie is a football player. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he will come up and lay a hat on you, and that's evidenced by, you know, the last game they played, 7 tackles, 1 interception, 1 pass breakup, 1 quarterback hurry. He's all over the field for this Furman defense.
Now Luke Schomburg going to pick it up, and he got picked off, into that pylon, and out of bounds at the 1-yard line, Travis Blackshear. He flat out read the eyes of Luke Schomburg, and Blackshear with that huge INT.
Well, Chattanooga has been flirting with danger all afternoon with these cross-the-field passes because defenses have the time to look back and react. And you see right here, he's eyeballing where he wants to go at the ball, and you allow the defender to get a good jump on that. Great job by Blackshear on the outside, reading the quarterback's eyes and playing his keys and jumping in front of the receiver. Now, he's lucky he did not fumble that ball out of the end zone. He's lucky the ball went out at the 2-yard line, because if he would have fumbled the ball and it would have been out of the end zone, that would have been a touchback.
Look at that, 13 career INTs for the outstanding corner, Travis Blackshear. The young man out of Savannah, Georgia, he came that close to having his 4th career interception, pick 6. Ground game, power ground game, into the house, touchdown Furman on the carry from Dominic Roberto, his 2nd TD of the day.
And good answer by the Paladins offense to come out and get a score on the board. Now you've got a momentum change, and now what we have to look and see is how the young quarterback, Schomburg, is going to respond to that play right there. I thought, once again, they put him in a bad position with that play call, but we've got to see how he's going to respond now. It's the first time he's looked young this afternoon.
Yeah.
And, you know, you expect that from a young player. So let's see how he responds now and what can under pressure, because if I'm Furman, I'm going to dial it up a little bit now.
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to put pressure on the young man.
Well, Schomburg got picked as many have by the outstanding play of quarterback Travis Blackshear. He's already had a pick six this year, his 4th INT of the season. Young man out of Savannah, Georgia, Travis Blackshear, his 4th INT of the year. Came close to having his 2nd pick six of the year. Is what a takeaway story for Furman. So what, averaging right around 2 a game?
One of the things you have to look at, too, when you've got a young quarterback, a lot of the play calls are going to be safe, so-called play calls, out routes, the short passing game. So you've got DBs keying on that and jumping these routes. I think for Chattanooga, they need to go to some pump and go routes, because you've got very active defensive backs right now for Furman feeling comfortable jumping these routes and not really playing their keys.
Partner down by 10 now for Chattanooga as this possession starts. World of time left. I mean, we're just early in the 3rd quarter, but how vitally important, though, do you think that a solid possession that potentially puts points on the board is necessary now down by 10 for Chattanooga?
You don't necessarily have to score, but you need to move the ball. You need to get the ball on the Furman side of the field if you're not going to score. And you also need to give your defense a little bit more time to, you know, kind of redirect what they're doing and look at being more aggressive when they get back on the field to make sure that they can make the plays necessary to slow down this Furman offense.
Well, Sarod Cook has been playing terrific out of that interior nose tackle spot. He just dragged down running back Reggie Davis there after a gain of just 1. There's a good look at the big fellow who wears number 99 out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. 2nd down and 9 now for Luke Schomburg after he got picked off by Blackshear in his last possession. Another dangerous throw, and that one-hopped his intended receiver. That's incomplete. Going to bring up 3rd down and long.
And a good job by number 46, Alex Mayer, getting in Schomburg's face, not giving him a clear path to throw the football and getting a hand on that football. That's what you have to do to the young quarterback. Do not allow him to be comfortable.
He's trying to find Sam Phillips there. All right, big play now for Luke Schomburg. As Forrest and I just discussed now, how vitally important does each and every possession now become for Chattanooga. Schomburg in trouble. Schomburg trying to keep the play alive. That throw incomplete. Incomplete again. That throw one-hopped. The intended receiver, Javon Watley. Watley, one of the big play men in that receiving corps.
And if you see what they're doing defensively for Furman, they have 2 deep safeties. They're playing a 2 deep look. But what those linebackers are doing are passing those receivers off to those safeties, and they're covering those receivers. And those linebackers are sitting back in the intermediate area, not giving Schomburg anywhere to go at the football. So what he was trying to do is scramble to the outside in kind of a scramble drill to get his receivers to try and find an open space. But a good job by this Furman defense, game planning, and making the young quarterback think.
Clayton Cryle with that punt was trying to angle it and keep it away from Joshua Harris, who accepted that fair catch. 35-yard line. Good operating position for this 2nd Furman possession here of this 3rd quarter. Well, this is why, at halftime where we asked Chattanooga head coach Rusty Wright about this opening drive. Outstanding. Not only he put 7 on the board, but, covered 81 yards. And since then, though, a lot of difficulty.
And they made it look very easy, that opening drive. They looked very confident in what they were doing, but that's why it's called a game of adjustments.
So back for quarterback Tyler Huff and the Furman offense. That first down snap is going to go to Grant Robinson. Robinson, who had not played very often at all, and then suddenly became a key figure, the 210-pounder in that first half in the Furman run game.
He has definitely been a surprise focal point of this offense. And once again, that's game planning and preparation and not letting the cat out the bag.
Well, Tyler Huff without the gloves on here in this possession. Boy, and his throw was incomplete. He rushed that a little bit as he was looking for the freshman Colton Hinton. And we might have a late hit on Huff.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 29. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, not what you need, huh? If you're that Chattanooga defense right down, they would have had Furman in that third down and long, but Telly Plummer got hit with a late hit.
And I think that's a little bit of flopping right there. I mean, he just hit him with a shoulder. I mean, first of all, I thought it was a late flag, and Huff sold that. I agree with Plummer, and I agree with the coaching staff, Coach Wright and his staff. That was not a personal foul.
Keep the drive alive. Going to go to the gadget play as a firing that throw deep, but well out of bounds. It got picked off, but Joshua Harris, as they tried to sell that misdirection, and Harris was throwing the football.
One of the things, when I look at misdirection or plays where you've got a non-quarterback throwing the football, you need to use a guy that played quarterback in high school that understands pass concepts, pass routes, you know, all of those different things that you understand from that position, because that was a throw he should not have made right there.
It was made by off misdirection. Now back to the ground game. Running hard down to the 40-yard line is Grant Robinson. Robinson is 210-pounder. Likes to lower the pads and put a hurt on defenders.
And watch his active feet on this play right here. He's able to bounce to the outside, but he keeps active feet and keeps his feet moving. That's what you want to see from backs. Continue to make plays. Don't allow the first defender to bring you down.
Lower those pads on that defensive end. Chris Victor there. All right, this is 3rd down and 3 for quarterback Tyler Huff. Stay in the ground game. That's a first down as Dominic Roberto's put a couple of touchdowns on the board for Furman today. Got those on that inside zone. Got a couple of good blocks.
And right now you're starting to see this offensive line fire off the football. You're watching the guards be able to tandem block and get up to those second-level defenders and cover them up. And when these linebackers are coming downhill for Chattanooga, they're allowing themselves to get blocked. You've got to get skinny. You've got to turn those shoulders. You've got to make yourself difficult for those linemen to get hands on. That's when you get those holding penalties, because they try and get a grip on you because you've gotten skinny and turned those shoulders.
Furman right on schedule, 140 on the ground. They tried to throw that middle screen. It became dangerous because Huff was off the mark as he was looking for Wayne Anderson Jr.
And you know what happens too often on the screen passes? Linemen give it away too quickly. I thought on that play, Garrett Bowman, number 74, should have sat back just a split second longer to sell the pass. And then once you sell that and you get those defenders getting up the field, now you can get out and be those lead blockers and be that convoy for your back.
Yeah, Garrett Vollmer, the young man that plays at left guard. He born in Germany and came over here to the States, played at Virginia and then Old Dominion. All kinds of time. Huff, I'm just going to throw the football away. Huff was looking in that end zone as he had the potential there, but solid coverage out of that secondary from Chattanooga.
And I thought that was a good job by Huff. He went through his progressions. He stayed in the pocket. He didn't panic. And when he did not see what he wanted, he got rid of the football.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 now. The line to make is at the 24-yard line here. There's Huff's numbers on the day against this very tough Chattanooga defense. Huff, again, middle screen, got a flag down, probably going to come back. He found Wayne Anderson Anderson inside the 10, got pushed out of bounds. However, as I mentioned, that flag came out of the backfield, probably coming back.
I think it's going to be offsides.
So you think offside instead of false start, illegal motion, huh?
Yes.
Offside.
You're right, partner.
Defense number 53. When be declined. Results of the play, first down.
It will not come back as they hit that middle screen. As, of course, Chattanooga head coach Rusty Wright not pleased with the result of that.
Well, you see at the bottom, right there at the bottom of the formation, of the defensive line, he lined up offsides. You've got to know where the football is and stay behind the football. But once again, you're using this aggressive defense, aggression against them with that screen, that middle screen pass.
25-yard throw from Huff to Anderson. Roberto lowers the pads and runs inside the 5 to the 4-yard line before Clay Fields the third on the Chattanooga hit. There's a good look at Fields.
And once again, a good job by the play side tight end and tackle to block down. The guard pulls around and kicks out, and then you've got the other tight end as the lead block up in the seam with the back to follow.
Furman looking to extend the lead. Not on that snap as Roberto ran into a stone wall up front. Solid job by that front and the linebacking core there of Chattanooga to get that stop. As you take a look at Marlon Taylor, who wears number 94, and Montrell Henderson, who wears number 91.
And I think it's imperative right now for Chattanooga to get a stop and force a field goal attempt. They do not need to give up a touchdown.
If they're able to do that, partner, it'll keep it a 2-possession game. Touchdown, going to take it up to 3 possessions. Huff looking end zone. Huff using his legs. That is going to bring that back. I almost guarantee you, although Huff was able to throw the touchdown pass to Dominic Roberto, but all the Furman Paladins know that's coming back.
Well, you see the big fella, number 77.
Holding. Offense number 55. 10-yard penalty. Still third down.
The big fella, number 77, Fred Norman, put his hands up in the air like, it's not me, don't look at me. But right in the middle of the offense, you see it right there when a defender tries to disengage and get to the quarterback, Huff. Quay Wiggles did a good job of continuing to play through the play, and when he attempted to disengage, Johanning grabbed him and got a hold of him, and the officials were able to see that. So that's why you have to continue to play through the play, because if Quay Wiggles doesn't, now you've got a Furman team celebrating another touchdown.
Oh, yeah, and moves it back to the 13-yard line. So this is a 3rd and goal from the 13. And again, the difference, even if Furman were to run out the field goal team and kick this lead up to 13, it would keep it a 2-possession game. Huff looking end zone with his throw. What an outstanding catch. But, of course, the catch came back on that white of the boundary. Joshua Harris wanted to try to get into one of those ESPN highlight reels with that catch.
Beautiful catch. But a good job by the defender using the back line of the end zone to his advantage. You want to press those receivers, you know, give them all that space, push them, so when they're able to get possession of the football, they're out of bounds.
Yeah, huge for Chattanooga as Ian Williams will drill this. And he hit it. No flag on that play, so Williams will connect. However, by Chattanooga getting off the football field, it keeps it a 2-possession game. Back at Greenville, South Carolina, 2 of the huge playmakers of the Chattanooga Mocs. Jamoy Mays, where's number 2? His wide receiver mate, Jevin Watley, wear number 6. They both had phenomenal years. Do they find big plays with this quarterback, Luke Schomburg?
Well, I think you've got to find ways to get him the football. You know, short passing game, quick passing game, short crossing routes. They're athletes in space, but they can't be special if they don't have the football in their hands. So you've got to have a game plan to get these two playmakers of football on the perimeter and allow them to be special for you. And that's what you always want to do when you've got a young quarterback. You've got to help your young quarterback get his confidence level up.
And we'll see if this possession just brings that boosted confidence and ability to get points on the board. Again, still 21 minutes of football to be played here. But now the lead is 13. Still a two-possession game as you take a look, though, at the pass offense. Now, how much of that, though, you want to put the big star of tremendous play with this Furman defense at back seven, linebacking core, secondary, the way they're defending against this offense?
Well, I think they've had some dangerous passes for this young quarterback, and I'd like to see them give him some easier passes to complete.
Going to fire deep middle. Way too tall, never really had a shot to hook up with Jamoy Mays as coverage was coming.
But once again, you're asking your young quarterback to go vertical down the field when you're down 2 scores and you've got a defense that's reading that. You've got to help your quarterback out. I think the short passing game, quick out routes, to the boundary side of the field, not the field side, not the wide side. Crossing routes. Because crossing routes, DBs are always going to be in trail mode.
3 wide receivers here. Off the play fake and virtually just throwing that football away is a young redshirt freshman quarterback Luke Schomburg. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. As Rusty Wright, the head football coach, just got Schomburg over to the sidelines. And did he get Matthew Clemmer in? There it is, Matthew Clemmer, true freshman out of Maryville, Tennessee. So Clemmer, without much playing time at all this year, virtually no statistics, being called in on 3rd and 10. Clemmer not anywhere to go and threw the football away. Punt team's got to come out right now. Furman's defense has got Chattanooga's in a vice grip.
Well, you saw the youth right there on Clemmer. He turned around and scrambled towards the boundary side. You need to scramble towards the field side where you've got more space and more opportunity for, a jailbreak from your receivers to get in scramble mode and try and come back to you to make a play. But once again, that's a tough position to put a young guy in, in a playoff game. First play he comes in and you've got him trying to get a 3rd and 9.
Joshua Harris is going to fair catch that boot from Clayton Cryle. Cryle hit a real good one that pushed Harris all the way back to the 28-yard line. However, with a 13-point lead, there's still a 2-possession game, but this is where Furman will begin. And another long drive here that potentially results in points could be devastating for Chattanooga. You see up top at our FCS bracket, the Montana Grizz. They go later on today against the Blue Hens of Delaware. That's who the winner of this Furman-Chattanooga game gets in the quarterfinals next week. A lot of football still to be played, though. The lead is 13 for the Furman Paladins, and that first down snap, they're going to run the football. And that's Wayne Anderson on the call.
And see, now you've got Chattanooga responding to the rushing attack of Furman. You saw the run blitz on that play. Now, this is where, your veteran Tyler Huff should be able to read what they're showing defensively and try and get an opportunity to go down the field to one of his receivers.
Now Huff's looking to put it up on 2nd down. He'll check that down, came underneath and hit Kendall Dean. Dean, the young man from his graduate student out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Couple-yard hookup, going to bring up 3rd and 6.
You see, he finds a hole in his own, sits down, allows his quarterback to have somewhere to go with the football. And the idea is to hopefully get him in the perimeter and allow him to be special on the outside.
Wayne Anderson Jr. is that running back, offset to the left. of Tyler Huff. 3rd down and 6. Play action. Now Huff going to use those legs. Huff trying to get to the sticks. He got there, I think. Yeah, they're going to give him first down yardage there as he got to the sticks, and Huff looked to put the shot on himself.
And you have to wonder how Coach Hendricks and his staff feel about Huff taking these shots. He's taken a couple of shots, you know, running the football right here on the tail end of this play. You could tell that he felt that shot right there. So you have to wonder how the coaching staff feel about that. And you know he's a football player, so he's going to go out there and do what's necessary to help his team win. But you don't want your quarterback taking those unnecessary shots.
And that was Clay Fields who hit quarterback Tyler Huff. Grant Robinson on that first down call, maybe a couple yards.
Because as we know, Mike,
long.
It won't hurt today.
No, not today.
Right now, but later on tonight.
Oh, yeah.
You'll remember it. You'll start to feel the effects.
No doubt. Isn't that the truth? Robinson got a couple as we're now getting close to 3 minutes left in this third quarter. And as you see, you know, Tyler Huff and the Furman offense in no particular hurry to get the football snap. They'll snap it with 8. Huff's throw is hauled in by Joshua Harris. First down, Tyler Huff on the hookup, the connection with Joshua Harris.
And right now, Huff is getting into a rhythm. If he doesn't see what he likes, he scrambles outside the pocket and gets up the field. But right now, once again, these receivers are doing a good job of sitting down and finding ways to be an open target for their quarterback. They're taking what the defense gives them.
Tyler Huff looking to take his football team on this ball control drive. They are in Chattanooga territory. That's a strong hit that just got put on Grant Robinson there as coming up to make that stop.
And I tell you what's interesting is Chattanooga is bringing that run blitz every first down. So what's going to be interesting is when Furman has another first down, will they play off of what we've seen from this Chattanooga defense with that run blitz?
Ben Bruton on that hit for a loss of a couple. So you see after the 1-for-5 start, Tyler Huff, highly decorated offensive player of the year in the SoCon. Now Huff throwing again. Another in route. Got a couple back as he was able to hook up with Colton Hinton. Hinton, the true freshman, making the catch there. Going to bring up 3rd and long.
Now what I want you to do, Mike, is let's look at the cushion that the defensive backs give these receivers on this 3rd down. I think that's going to be key where Huff wants to go at the football, because they've been giving up a 8 to 10 yard cushion on the outside. And if they give up that cushion, all the receivers need to do is press these defensive backs and make them get into turn and run mode and stop, and they'll be able to get those first downs.
Well, and Huff has also been snapping the football with inside 5 on the play clock. That throw is hauled in and making that grab with speed outside the numbers. First time today, Nick Cannon. That's Cannon, the redshirt junior out of Roswell, Georgia. His 4th catch of the year. 2 of them have been for touchdowns.
An excellent job by my big fellas in the middle of that offensive line. Pearson Toomey and Wyatt Hughes, 63 and 75. They were able to get up in the middle of that defense at the 2nd level and give the back what he needed to cut off and get to the edge and get around up the field.
When this possession started for Furman, this is what we're talking about in terms of they've taken 5 minutes off this 3rd quarter clock now. And Robinson trying to bounce to the outside, probably coming back as that flag was thrown. As Wayne Robinson was trying to get Grant Robinson rather, got a couple of yards on that carry. Probably coming back.
Holding. Offense number 89. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
So the guilty party, Mason Pline, the big tight end who started his career at Division II Ferris State in Michigan.
And that's pretty obvious, big fella. You just got to let them go, or if you can't get in front of that shoulder, you just got to take them where they're trying to go. and hope that your back is dynamic enough to cut off of the way you're blocking.
The Furman Paladins say we don't need another snap at the end of this third quarter. They've been on this possession for over 5 minutes now, trying to add to their 13-point lead and move on into the third round of the FCS playoffs. That huge pick came from cornerback Travis Blackshear, resulted in the touchdown from Dominic Roberto. 20-7 when we get back. Back inside Paladin Stadium in Greenville, South Carolina, the 7th-ranked Furman Paladins in the FCS Championship playoff format on top here. I want to remind you the NCAA FCS Championship coverage continues next Friday and Saturday. Quarterfinal coverage on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN Plus. If you'd like more info, you can get it. Go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. With my partner Forrest Conley and all of our ESPN crew, I'm Michael Regai. Great to have you along. And graduate quarterback, the senior Tyler Huff, who's never lost a SoCon game. He's got his football team on the move again as they'll go with Grant Robinson on that carry.
And you know, Mike, one of the things that sticks out after 3 quarters of play is Furman's ability to run the football.
Yeah.
32 carries, 151 yards. They're averaging almost 5 yards a carry. And I think that is what's been the difference maker and the tone setter for this offense since that first score by Chattanooga.
Without question, partner. Yeah, and again, they've, like I said, I think we were saying earlier, that offensive line said this football game's about you big fellas now, and they have responded in kind once they got that lead. Look at this push here. Speaking of this game being about you, offensive line, as they just kept Grant Robinson standing upright as he got inside the 20. Check out this O-line toughness.
Well, this is what I call hand eaters. These are guys that eat with their hands. I don't want, once again, fork and spoon eaters. I want guys that want to dig down, get dirty, put the helmets down, and continue to push, scratch, claw, give me any and everything you got. And the thing about it that's impressive is all of the backs from Furman are very patient runners. They don't just run in there and put their heads down. They allow for the play to develop. They allow for these big fellas to get around the edge on the pin and pull. They do a really, really good job of letting the play be how it's drawn up and running the play as is.
Now Furman's going to take a timeout here as that play clock was running down, but handies, huh? So left tackle Pearson Toomey, Garrick Vollmer that left guard, Wyatt Hughes at center, Jacob Johanning the right guard, Fred Norman the right tackle. Back with more in a moment. Southern Conference postseason award winners as we get back to Greenville, South Carolina, inside Paladin Stadium. Tyler Huff, Offensive Player of the Year, and Carson Jones got that co-freshman of the year, and then of course one of that big fellas at that right guard, Jacob Johanning, and Clay Hendricks, the Coach of the Year. Hendricks, of course, the lifelong Furman Paladin, right? Played here, coach here, just has the whole college football atmosphere of his is all about Furman. Huff off a play fake. His throw is broken up beautifully. Huff was trying to find Luke Shiflett, and in on that, making that strong defensive play was Clay Fields.
And a good job by Huff. He puts the ball where only his receiver can try and make a play on it, but a better play by Fields to get across, Telly Plummer.
Yeah, Plummer.
To get across and get his hand in there and knock that out.
It was Telly Plummer. He and Clay Fields, the top two in this secondary.
Well, the key to that, too, it keeps, if they get this field goal, a two-score game.
Exactly. It'll be from 20, make it 36 yards away, and a lot of leg again for Ryan. Check that, Ian Williams, and Williams from 36 yards out. It is a 16-point lead, and partner 100% correct. As we've been saying, as Furman has built this lead, remember, I mean, this is 23 unanswered now for Furman. as Chattanooga got out to that 7-0 lead in the opening quarter.
Well, right now, I think you're starting to see attrition set in for the Chattanooga defense. You've got some guys that have been on the field a lot this second half. So I think for Chattanooga offensively, they've got to get something going. Of course, if they're able to get a touchdown, they need to go for a 2-point conversion because this is a 2-score game, down 16 points. But back to, the player of the year and freshman of the year with Tyler Huff and Carson Jones. I think what's impressive about that is you've got two players at the same position win player of the year basically at the quarterback position. So with Huff, when he's healthy, he's been the best player in the conference. And then Carson Jones, when he got his opportunity because of Huff's injury, he was the best freshman in the conference. So that to me is extremely impressive and should not be overlooked.
About 1 minute and 38 seconds into the fourth quarter is this again non-returnable kickoff. Now the question is, and it looks like Matthew Clemmer. It is Clemmer. Where's number 12? Remember, it was Clemmer who threw that final pass on that last possession. So Luke Schomburg, I don't know if he's done for the day, but head coach Rusty Wright has made the quarterback change and gone with Clemmer. $16-point deficit for the Chattanooga Moccasins. So Clemmer will continue at quarterback, and that first down call maybe got one as they went to the ground game with Dominic Roberto. Or excuse me, Gino Appleberry on that first down call.
And Chattanooga has to make a decision. Are they going to play to win the game or play safe? Because they've got to start passing the ball down the field. They've got to get vertical with this football.
So Clemmer with the good size, but they're seeing his first significant action of this campaign. And they'll run the football again with Gino Appleberry as at front seven of this Furman defense just continues to kind of pin their ears back and come after it for us. And evidently, this is why Luke Schomburg has been lifted today for the true freshman Matthew Clemmer. On 3rd and 6, 4 wide receivers, 2-by-2, top and bottom of the formation for Clemmer. Play clock inside 5. Clemmer had that pass deflected. It is picked off, intercepted by Furman's outstanding linebacker. As coming up to make that hit again for Furman was Alex Mayer.
And if you saw what Furman did on that play, they rushed 4, they dropped 7. So when you got a young quarterback, there's nowhere for him to go with the football. They knew they were going to go with this quick pass game, and a good job by Mayer to react. He did not try to continue to pass rush. Once he saw the quarterback set up to throw the football, he was able to jump up and get his hands in the air. Now, you put the back in a bad position, Gino Appleberry, 5'9", 205. You're asking him to block a player at 6'4", 238 pounds. He's not going to win that battle. So that was a matchup advantage for Furman, and you see they put themselves in great position to put more points on the board.
Also put the King's crown on Alex Mayer, did they not, huh? The kids are rolling here today. That first down call comes to one running back for Furman, Grant Robinson. Robinson on the call.
And, going back to that last drive by Chattanooga, I didn't understand. You went 2 run plays, and then you tried to pass the ball.
3rd and long.
Yeah, but you've got a young quarterback. I think you go with that quick pass game on the first play. Once again, you're down 2 scores. You're in the 4th quarter. You've got to get the ball down the field. So there are some questions about that play call.
It's 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line now for quarterback Tyler Huff. Huff is going to throw it zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Making that Furman grab in the. No, wait a minute. The signal, they threw a flag in the backfield, probably coming back. Signal in the end zone was touchdown on the catch from Joshua Harris. Let's see if it is coming back.
I think you may have a lineman downfield.
Intentional grounding, or excuse me, ineligible downfield offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Pearson Toomey, fifth-year senior. The left tackle got whistled.
You see number 75, he's down. He's in the end zone blocking. I get selling it, but he oversold it on that play. You've got to stay within that 2-yard range. You can't get down the field like that.
Took away a terrific throw from Tyler Huff, and maybe even a better catch from Joshua Harris. So it moves the football back to the 11-yard line. Second and goal from the 11. Now Huff's going to throw. That out route is hauled in and knocked out of bounds after the catch was Luke Shiflett. Shiflett's made 3 catches today now. And Huff looking at him in his pass game.
You see Huff knows where he wants to go at the football. He recognizes the defense that they're presenting. But to me, this is an opportunity to go to your big fella, Mason Klein, 6'7", 260-pound tight end.
Klein wears number 89, and he is going to be in the left side of the formation here. It's a heavy formation for quarterback Tyler Huff. Huff gave it to Anderson. He's not going to get there. Outstanding pursuit from the corner there is coming up to make that hit for.
And you see the big fella, number 77, he's telling the coaching staff, let's go for it. I like that. Now, big fella, if they run it behind you, 6'7", 342 pounds, you need to knock somebody back, knock them into the end zone.
Well, game clock, play clock running. We'll see if head coach Clay Hendricks maybe going to get a timeout here as this play clock now comes inside 5, and that's exactly what he's going to do as we've come inside 10 minutes left in the football game. And now there's your timeout for Furman. So 4th and 2. Any points here, as we'll discuss in a moment, will kick this into a 3-possession lead for Furman. We'll be back to Paladin Stadium in a moment. 23-7, the lead is 16 right now as we're inside the 10-minute mark left in quarter number 4. Michael Regai alongside Forrest Conley and all of our ESPN crew. And so decision time here as...
Well, I think you definitely kick it. You know, those are
3-possession games.
Absolutely. I mean, the tough guy in you wants to go for it on 4th and goal, but the intelligent guy says kick the ball, go up 3 scores, and put yourself in a great position to walk away with the win and move on to the 3rd round.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what the veteran head coach of the Furman Paladins, Clay Hendricks, is going to do. In essence, an extra point from 20 yards away, and it is now a 3-possession lead for that man, Clay Hendricks, and his Furman Paladins after that field goal make. And a very balanced offense for Furman today, but more importantly, again, you know Clay Hendricks is saying, yeah, fellas, I know you want to go for it, but this 3 puts us up by 3 possessions with less than 10 minutes left in the football game, and that's the right way to play.
Well, one of the big concerns, I think, for Furman is you've kicked 4 field goals, and you, as you move on, will have to score touchdowns when you get that close. You cannot continue to kick field goals.
All right, let's take a look at our bracket here, and again, if you're just joining us, this 7th ranked team in the FCS playoffs, Furman, look like they're going to move on. Now, here's the other side of the bracket. So South Dakota State, the top seed at halftime, looking good. Look at Villanova with that 17-point win, the 8th seed over Youngstown State. Chalk holding up here for us as Albany rolls to a win over Richmond. And, of course, the 4th-ranked Idaho Vandals have Southern Illinois later today.
Well, South Dakota State is who we thought they were. They have become the new North Dakota State of FCS football with the way that they dominate other teams. And they just look bigger than everybody when you see them on the field. They look bigger, stronger, and faster. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone can challenge them this year for that FCS title.
So Chattanooga going to get their hands on the football, now down by 19 at 26-7. So it is a 3-possession game. If Chattanooga is going to entertain thoughts of winning this one. And on this kickoff return for the Chattanooga Mocs, Javen Watley. The offense for Chattanooga is going to start from the 17-yard line. And again, this young man is a true freshman, Matthew Clemmer. If you're just joining us, Luke Schomburg got the start as he's been starting for the last few weeks after they lost their #1 starting quarterback on the year, Chase Artopius. So now, over the course of the last couple of weeks, is the 3rd quarterback that that head coach Rusty Wright is playing. First down snap. Going to stay with the ground game. Running powerfully off that right side for 13 yards and a first down is Gino Appleberry, the 205-pound senior. There's a good look at Appleberry.
And we talked earlier about Mays, Watley, and Phillips not being effective in this game. The reason for that is Furman has been able to rush and get pressure with 4 pass rushers and drop 7 back into coverage. So what they're doing is they're keeping everything in front of them, and when the ball is released, they're breaking on the football. So they are not giving Chattanooga any opportunities to get the ball to those playmakers.
So a good look at Rusty Wright, who has had to deal with a quarterback injury, as we said, of his junior starter, the UCLA transfer, Chase Artopius. 2nd consecutive strong run from Gino Appleberry, as Appleberry got the call.
And also Jay Person, a great defensive end for this Chattanooga ball club.
Yeah.
Who would have come into this game with 56 tackles, 9.5 sacks, 17 tackles for loss. You miss a lot of defensive production, and you miss the game planning that has to take place from the offensive team to keep him out of the backfield.
Stay in the ground with Appleberry. Oh, he got rocked. How about that hit is coming up to make that hit for the Furman Paladins. That was Braden Gilby, that outside backer. Big stop.
And you see what Gilby does. He decides where the play is coming from. He's able to analyze it and get downfield and find the seam after he diagnoses it, and he puts a hat on the hat. That's what you want your linebackers to do. Don't go in and try and engulf the hit from the offensive lineman. Get skinny shoulders, turn those shoulders sideways, diagnose and get to the ball carrier.
Got a linebacking core flying around now on 3rd down and 2, and that's going to be marked short. The line to make was the 40-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th down now as again Gino Appleberry got stuck as that hit came from Luke Clark. Clark, who plays what's called the bandit here.
And you see some frustration about some of the offensive linemen for Chattanooga. They wanted to go for it. But I think at this point, the coaching staff doesn't want to potentially put the defense back out there with their backs against their own goal line.
Been a busy day for Clayton Cryle, huh? The punter of the Chattanooga Mocs, as he'll hit that high and drifting inside the 15-yard line for Joshua Harris on that fair catch. The Furman Paladins got everything rolling their way with their 19-point lead. Should take a look at Chattanooga quarterback Luke Schomburg, who started this one today and got pulled from Matthew Clemmer. His football team down by 19, so 3-possession Furman lead as we're inside 7 minutes left in this one.
You see some emotions from this young man, but that lets you know he really cares. And he gave it his all, and it's a tough position to be in as a young player, stepping in and, having to deliver in such a tough environment.
True freshman Matthew Clemmer as well. Now, here's your last 5 FCS champions. South Dakota State, of course, they're #1. Jackrabbits won it last year. North Dakota State in 21. And, of course, North Dakota State, 9 of the last 12. They've had a hammer-like vice grip on this FCS playoff championship run.
When they're not winning it, they're playing in the championship game.
Right, yeah.
So it's not like they're not around. They've just been so dominant. But that's kind of what you're seeing from South Dakota State now. They look like North Dakota State did when they were winning those championships. Bigger, stronger, faster than everybody, and just a step, ahead of everyone that they're playing.
Furman has been a step ahead today from the Chattanooga Mocs as Furman looking for their 10th win of the campaign. This football program that came into the year with high FCS expectations, and they've delivered. Is keeping the football is their veteran quarterback Tyler Huff.
And there's a question, when you've got Huff in the game, they've got a 19-point lead. We know he's coming back off of injury. They're definitely, or very likely, I can't say definitely yet because crazier things have happened, but it's looking like they're going to move on to the next round. And you want to keep your guy healthy. So I think, I would not be shocked if this is his last series.
Sure,
if they get the ball back and have another offensive series, because you want to keep him healthy. You want to get him in a rhythm, but you want to keep him healthy as well.
Carson Jones, his backup, and again, that quick toss, that's going to go down as a completed pass, by the way. Just so you have that on your stat sheet, that quick flip, a completed pass to Colton Hinton. There's the backup, Carson Jones. So he complete passes in college football these days. Just, catch that snap and give it a quick toss. That's a completed pass for the quarterback.
But did you see what Hinton did as well? He waited for Wayne Anderson, number 9, to get around that edge, his lead blocker. Once again, showing patience. All of these ball carriers for Furman do an extremely good job of being patient runners and allowing for the blocks to develop.
So Tyler Huff, and again, and he's going to snap this football at 1 on the play clock. Going back to the ground game. Wayne Anderson on that carry. Unless you get Carson Jones, I don't know if there's going to be another possession for Furman, Forrest Conley. So you may have to, if you're going to get Carson Jones into the football game and let Tyler Huff hear all the accolades from this Furman crowd, you might have to do it within this possession.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Coach Hendricks, I'm telling Huff, hand the ball off. Do not throw the football. I don't want you running the football. If there's something or something happens with the handoff, just take a knee. You're too valuable to us at this point, and we've got to maintain your health moving forward.
More RPO, the gaping hole for Grant Robinson. And that's going to move the sticks to the 43-yard line. So let's see if head coach Clay Hendricks will get Carson Jones into this football game.
Now look at the blocking. Look at those guys up to the second level, 55, 77. You've got wide receivers out there blocking at the second and third level. Number 88 is at the third level of the defense, Nick Cannon blocking. That's what you want to see from an offensive coach's standpoint. Your guys, not just ball carriers, but everyone getting involved.
On that carry, though, Grant Robinson, who was that ball carrier, is the one being attended to on his feet. We'll tell you more when we come back. As we get back here at Greenville, South Carolina, on the campus of Furman University, let's take a look at the other side of the bracket. All right, so this is the one that this Furman Paladin squad is just 3 minutes and 44 seconds away from moving on, Forrest Conley, into the quarterfinals, where if everything stands, they'll have to deal with those Montana Grizz next week in the quarters.
And the interesting game to me on this side of the bracket also is Montana State and North Dakota State.
Yeah, and there could be a lot of very interesting matchups as this clock moves now. Tyler Huff and this offense, they continue to run the football with this 19-point 3-possession lead as carry this time came from Wayne Anderson. And the last one, well, this whole possession, as you expect a veteran quarterback to do. Tyler Huff has not called for that football on his play snap until that time clock has been at 2:01 second.
And almost to prevent injury, you tell your backs as well, if they don't see it as it's drawn up, just go down.
Play clock did hit double zeros there, so did they get the timeout before it?
Timeout.
Yeah.
Furman, their third.
Third and final timeout. So
30-second timeout.
Head coach Clay Hendricks got that timeout there as the play clock was hitting 0. That'll be it. No more timeouts for Furman, but they're 2 minutes and 38 seconds away. Forrest Conley, as we just showed all of the FCS brackets, from moving on.
And I tell you what's been extremely impressive is their ability to run the football with several backs, not just one back. It's not just been Roberto. It's been Roberto, it's been Hicks, it's been Anderson. I mean, Robinson. They have spread the ball around. And what that does for opposing defenses is not give you someone to concentrate on and stop. You've got to prepare for this entire offense and the bevy of backs that they bring to each ball game.
On 2nd down and 11, I'm going to stay with their very versatile and running back receiver Wayne Anderson. Make up 3rd down and long as the clock continues to move as we approach the 2-minute mark. So 3rd down and 9 now, and it's looking more and more as that play clock still with 10 seconds left on, looking more and more like as you were asking earlier, the starting quarterback Tyler Huff is going to finish this one out. Now Huff went back to that toss again to the freshman speedster Colton Hinton. Hinton got the carry. This is going to set up 4th down now as we're at 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and Clay Hendricks is going to get his punt team on the football field and punt this one away, as this one is coming to a close where the 7th seed Furman is going to move on. Ryan Levy to hang it high. Well, that fair catch was bobbled by Jamoy Mays, but he got it under control. And you know, today I'm going to give Furman a lot of credit for this for us, but you know, these outstanding playmakers and receivers. Jamoy Mays, a young man who just fair caught that punt. Javin Watley, Sam Phillips, these have been just elite receivers all year long. They really just were never able to get things rolling today against this Furman D.
Well, what they were able to do, Furman defensively, was get pressure with their front four, which allowed 7 to drop back into coverage, which allowed them to cover up those 3 receivers, whether it be double coverage on some and single coverage on the other. But they always had safety help over the top, so they kept them bracketed and they kept everything in front of them. And that's what you have to do when you play against a team that has elite receivers on the outside, because what they want to do is stretch the field. So if you can get pressure with those front 4 and drop all 7 back, now you prevent them from being able to do that, and you have to go to the underneath passing game. But once again, when you're dropping 7, you've got 3 that are in that intermediate area, and then also you've got a young quarterback that has to be able to read that. So everything kind of played into their favor with what they were trying to do defensively against this Chattanooga ball club.
Head coach Rusty Wright just going to continue on the ground. Gino Appleberry has had a couple of back-to-back carries, and let's see if that's the final snap. We're inside 30 seconds left, and Clay Hendricks is coming across the gridiron to shake hands with Rusty Wright, exchange pleasantries as this season will come to an end for the Chattanooga Mocs as they'll finish at 8-5 on the year. And for Furman, moving on with this 26-7 FCS playoff victory over Chattanooga. Impressive performance from Furman on both sides of the football.
Absolutely. They did what they needed to do, which was establish the run, not put it on Huff to win the football game for them. But I think what this game has done is it's allowed Huff to get into a rhythm and put himself in a position to be successful as they move on. But once again, this rushing attack has stood out. They've had multiple backs run the football today very effectively. Hicks, Roberto, Anderson, Robinson, they've spread it around. So it's going to be interesting to see moving forward how this Furman offense continues to evolve with these backs, along with all of the receivers. Remember, they came into this game with 4 receivers with 300-plus yards receiving, and 2 additional receivers, one being the tight end and one being the receiver with 200-plus yards. So they spread the ball around throwing, and now you see their ability to spread the ball around rushing. So that makes this offense very multiple.
All right, let's have a moment of chat with the victorious head coach, the Furman Paladin through and through, the head coach, Clay Hendricks. Clay, Michael Regai, and Forrest Conley, we've been discussing, but, just a strong overall effort from your football team today. Very workmanlike, as you do each and every week. And it's a complete football team you have, and I'm sure you got to be proud of the way that this team continues to prepare, execute, and play week in and week out, as was exhibited today.
Well, I'm proud of them. This season's been a grind. That's how we have to win games, and that was kind of how we are today. And you'd like to finish a couple more drives, score a few more points, but just can't say enough about our defense. I think probably other than some third downs in the first half, they played exceptional. Certainly getting Tyler back and Dom Roberto, and we're kind of a running back by committee, but there's a really good defense that we played against a bunch of times, and it's never been easy against them, and I knew it wouldn't be easy today, but we're certainly thrilled with the win, and we get to play another week.
Coach, you mentioned your defense. Was that the plan coming in? Get pressure with the front 4, drop 7, and make that young quarterback confused and not have anywhere to go with the football?
Well, we've been a good pressure team all year, and we've been able to do it with 4 at times, and so you never know how that works out. For us, it's, can you stop the run and make them one-dimensional and have a chance to get after the passer? And I don't think we had to bring quite as much pressure with linebackers and some other guys today, which was big. And certainly I don't know how many. I know they didn't make a lot of first downs in the second half. It's a little easier to win games when you do that.
Clay, we were speaking of, especially the fourth quarter, your offensive line. I mean, Toomey, Vollmer, Hughes, Johanning, Norman, they got it. They were tough. They got it blocked today. They were moving defenders, off the ball. How big of a key are they as a unit in what you get accomplished offensively?
Well, they've been a really solid group all year, and, we've had a great tradition of those guys around here. And, that's an outstanding defensive front. They were certainly missing the person outside, who's a great player, and to not acknowledge that. But, it was, a little bit of run back by committee. Certainly the guys played up front, grinding out some hard yards and getting it in. Sometimes it's a little hard to get in against them when we got it down there. But, it was just a great team performance. I can't say that. Ian Williams, our kicker, just those field goals were big. And, and again, we're a team that's got to complement each other. And, offense, defense, and our kicking game. And we certainly did that today.
Well, the FCS championship playoff winning rolls on for you, Clay Hendricks. Tremendous job today. We're gonna chat with your quarterback, Tyler Huff, too. But outstanding work, and good luck as you move forward in this championship run.
Thank you very much. It's great being with you.
Clay Hendricks, the head football coach of the Furman Paladins. Their 20th playoff win in this FCS format. And, we've got Tyler Huff, the outstanding quarterback from Orange Park, Florida. And Tyler Huff, Michael Regai, Forrest Conley, just really enjoyed watching you to play and run your offense today, Tyler. You got so much in terms of I think it was a very complimentary performance. Did you feel like we just mentioned with Coach Hendricks about the great work of the O-line, but your run game, pass game, did you check all the boxes that you were looking to get done today against this Chattanooga D?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, those guys up front, I mean, you see it every week. Those guys are some dogs up front, and we run the ball, and that's our offense. That's our identity, man. We're behind the big fellas up front. And, again, they proved it today that, that's a good game plan. Them guys up front are good. And our backs, man. G-Rob came back 28. He was a difference maker today, man. We're excited to keep going.
Tyler, talk about that interception early in the game. You were able to recover from that and come out and play an outstanding football game after that. But talk about your team's ability to adjust to something that's not good on the football field.
Yeah, I think it's just trust. I mean, we know that. I feel like I came out rusty. I got excited, forced something I didn't need to throw. But team rallies were behind me. Picked me up when I was down. That's how we play with complementary football, and we're dominant that way. When defense is firing like they are today, and offense, we do what we do, and we've been winning ball games like that.
Tyler Huff, the SoCon Offensive Player of the Year, 8th in Paladin's history now in terms of the passing exploits. What's it going to take for you to move on? You're in the quarterfinals now with you and your Paladins. What's it going to take to hoist a championship trophy here by winning a couple of more for your football team, Tyler?
Keep doing what we're doing. Defense is playing lights out. They're going to continue to do it. And offense, we got to start capitalizing more on these big turnovers. We're down in the red zone 2-3 times, and we're kicking too many field goals right now. But, we're going to get it going. We're going to get it moving. We got a lot of momentum now. Win a playoff game, everybody starts feeling good. And I think the momentum's starting to flow. And, we're ready for Montana or Delaware, whoever's coming out.
Yeah, one of those two, you're right. We certainly believe in everything you just said. Pleasure watching you and your football team get this win today, Tyler Huff. Congratulations, and keep rolling, man, in the FCS playoffs. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, man. Good luck.
There it is, Forrest Conley, after we hear from both Clay Hendricks and Tyler Huff. So there it is now. Furman, again, is, going to continue to look to move on next weekend in the quarterfinals. And, some of these names that are still left on the board, as you and I were saying, these are the elite names in the FCS format.
Well, I think for Furman, teams will have to recognize you've got to stop the pass and the throw. They're very versatile.
Partner, great job today. Enjoyed it. Safe travels. That's going to be a wrap for us. For my partner, Forrest Conley. For our producer, David Tasca, our director, Kevin Shank, all of our terrific crew. I'm Michael Regai. Furman, a convincing 26-7 win over Chattanooga. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend, everybody. So long.